Right, time now for our F1 segment. But before we move on, I just want to give a shout out to people who are watching. I'm seeing your social media posts as well. In a remote corner of Balochistan, Hafsar Post, everybody there who is watching, thank you so much to all of you, first of all, for giving your services in the line of duty. Pakistan is proud of you, and we salute you, of course. And thank you so much for watching Sports Extra. You're sending in all of your things from Balochistan. So Hafsar Post, kudos to you. So like I said, keep up the good work. And definitely, I know that Osama Najam is very keen on sending his questions and thoughts from Balochistan. So Osama, buck up. I hope you and the Jawans there are having a good time, and keep on watching all the sports platforms of PTV and keep on enjoying the brilliant sports that we bring at you. Lots of love to all of you guys at Hafsar Post in Balochistan. Time now for our Formula One segment, and like I said, we had the most intense race of my covering F1 career, I think. So let's just go take a look at this report that we have, and then we'll come back.
Max Verstappen has been confirmed as Formula One World Champion after the FIA stewards rejected a Mercedes protest over the result of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Mercedes has expressed its intention to appeal the stewards' verdict, meaning the team has 96 hours to decide whether to lodge a full appeal or not. But the results of Sunday's race, with Verstappen as winner and world champion, currently stand. Hamilton had appeared in control of the race and on course for the title himself, despite controversy on the first lap until a late safety car. The race was restarted with 1 lap to go, with Verstappen on fresh tyres and Hamilton on old ones, and the Dutchman swept by to win. Verstappen was forced to wait until late into the night for the verdict, which was issued 4 hours after he crossed the line to secure an incredible victory by passing title rival Lewis Hamilton on the final lap of the race. Verstappen's celebrations were interrupted by the protests, and he had to wait more than 4 hours until they could resume. It was a fitting end to a season that saw the two contenders go wheel to wheel over 22 races spanning 4 continents and arrive in Abu Dhabi tied in the championship standings. It marked the first time the contenders were equal at the season finale since 1974. This was Red Bull's first F1 title since 2013. Since then, Mercedes had won every championship.
Number 33, Red Bull, Max Verstappen. Remember the name. Like I said, the most intense race of the season. And probably if you've been following F1, it was absolutely amazing. This is the sort of finale that you want to a race as well. And we'll be discussing this further with my co-anchor, Sabeel Hazir. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm very well. Being a Verstappen fan, today is a great day.
Well, I know you call about it. You said, although that you're a Verstappen fan, but obviously Hamilton has the better in this. But, it's probably the season of, new things to come. But this was probably one of the best competitions, and competition keeps it alive.
This has not just been... So the race itself, the final lap, is one of the best finishes to any F1 race ever. But the overall season as well was one of the best overall seasons of F1, the way these two have been going at it, considering the lead Verstappen built up, and then Hamilton clawed his way back. And also, obviously, only a champion like him has the caliber to do that. The race itself, incredible. The final lap, unbelievable. And it obviously, the controversy, for some is terrible, for most it adds a bit of flavor. And, I said, I think Hamilton, even though Verstappen now has won 2 years in a row, this is Hamilton's course, he does very well here, and he has the better car. That safety car is the only way Verstappen was going to win that race. Like, I think the Red Bull director was even like, they need a miracle to win that race going into the last few laps, and then they got their miracle at the expense of Hamilton and obviously Latifi crash.
It's very interesting that Hamilton was a good sport, and Sir Lewis Hamilton always is. He had a lot of praise for Max Verstappen, but visibly Mercedes is frustrated.
Not just frustrated, they're furious. So they've launched a complaint. They've launched 2 complaints, one against the FIA itself and one against against Red Bull and Verstappen. They've both been dismissed,
yes.
But I'm almost certain they're going to take it to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, because they're not going to take this lying down, especially because it was dismissed under like one article, which is that the article says that the race director has full control of the safety car and when it's on and when it's off, but they're going to take that, I think, to court. But nevertheless, Max Verstappen is champion. Mercedes, well-deserved constructors title. They have made the best car by far. No matter which side of the aisle you sit on, Verstappen or Hamilton, you have to admit Mercedes has made a better car. Any chance Red Bull had is because Verstappen was driving out of his skin and just at an incredibly high level. And so I think it's a fair result. The best driver won, and the best car won, the best constructor was Mercedes. So I think it was fair.
you know, on the other hand, when you say best driver, you've got Lewis Hamilton. Like you mentioned, that lead was there. One Qatar Grand Prix, Brazilian Grand Prix, inaugural edition of the Saudi Grand Prix. So 3 Grand Prix in a row coming up to this Abu Dhabi one.
So overall, obviously, Verstappen has to do a lot more in his career before he can be compared to Hamilton overall.
Yeah.
But this season, I think, especially given the difference in quality of cars, I think it's a massive gap. I do. And I think if Verstappen, if anybody else was in the Red Bull car, they would not even be running close to Lewis Hamilton. So I think you have to look at Verstappen and go like, he's had a special season. Yes, Hamilton was winning races. Of course, he's going to. It's Lewis Hamilton and he's in the best car. But I think I'm not saying Red Bull have a terrible vehicle. I'm just saying compared to Mercedes, he was at a disadvantage. And I think really, really good, smart decisions by their pit crew and team as well. The pit stop to put tires on him, soft tires on him as well, so that in the last few laps he had fresh tires. Things like that, very good intelligence shown. And Verstappen, young, I think he's the 4th or 3rd youngest winner of an F1
season,
championship. Yeah. Hamilton, I think, is 2nd.
Yeah.
So I think you have to give credit there, and I think Hamilton overall is obviously his legacy far overshadows anything Verstappen has done. But this year, not just being a Verstappen fan, obviously I'm biased, I think Verstappen technically was a better driver.
What does the next season have in store? Because Verstappen is probably going to come with sheer confidence, and so is Red Bull. They've got now things to look forward to improving. But for Hamilton, Mercedes is also going to look for another driver as far as his teammate is concerned. So that does mean that, you know, it's going to be things changing in F1 now.
Aren't they getting George Russell? So Mercedes are bringing him in. I think they're going to win the Constructors again. I don't think there's any doubt in most people's mind that with Bottas leaving and Russell coming in, there'll be a better team and they will be able to, I think, win the Constructors title again. As for after this finale, you cannot even hope, no matter how much you think to know about F1, predict the winner of next year. It's going to be another close race. Constructors, I think, again, Mercedes. But I think as for individuals, Verstappen now has a title under his belt. You could tell even in the last lap, by the way, if you look at it, he started going a bit wider. He was getting a bit nervous holding that lead just for one lap. So now his nerves will have settled. He has won that first championship. So he'll be a better, more confident driver. And Hamilton will be looking for the 8th again. He's not any less hungry. He wants that 8th. You could tell, even though he showed a lot of class in his post-race interview, he was devastated to lose that 8th, to not win that 8th. So it's going to be close. Can't call it, and I don't have the wherewithal to call it. But definitely, I think Mercedes will win Constructors.
You know, I saw a very particular meme, and because Sabeel is here, it makes pretty much sense, where it said that you can watch 100 laps of a car go around the same circuit, but then you call a test match boring. So that does really make sense. But Sabeel, overall, dynamics are changing. We're getting Grand Prix with every year added on, Turkish, be it Qatar, Saudi Arabia for the very inaugural edition. So things are looking pretty great for F1. As far as people keep on saying that the people might lose interest, it's not happening anytime soon.
Yeah, international viewership is going up. The metrics for that are for everybody to see. You can go online and see them. It's a growing sport, not just growing in the countries it's in, but we see these new Grand Prix being added. More people want to host races because there's such a massive market for it. And on top of all of that, it is a better product. With the technological advancements we've had in the last 20 years in cars, the way F1 has come up a lot quicker in terms of just the quality of things you see on the track. I think DRS systems will be allowed to be used a lot more in the next 10 years. I think I would like to see more of them now as well. I think there should be more DRS zones. They should be less strict about the rules behind it, because if you have a technology, you have to allow its use, right? So I think over 10 years, you'll see more use of the DRS.
More improvement and more technology coming
definitely, and the races are going to be much, much tighter.
Definitely. Sabeel, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations to you and Verstappen.
Thank
we
you.
hope that you're partying hard, both of you as well, because you're on the right side this time. But nonetheless, it's been a great end to the F1 season, and that's how we wanted it. It was cherry on the top. That's how it was. On that note, we'll go towards a short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.